Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Thank you all for watching this channel, and I do appreciate if you support it. That's like, subscribe, and leave me some nice comments. I got some good comments yesterday. People who'd been in prison as well. You know, if you've been there, so what? So was I. I mean, at least you got out. It took me 11 years. It's quite a long time, innit? You can do a lot for that these days without doing 11 years. I got paid like. I'm going to talk today about the hanging shed at Strangeways prison and what happened to the contents thereof. Because therein lies another story. And Barry Smith, who watches this channel, hello Barry. We were there. Barry used to run the shed where the big workshop where they did all the stitching of the mail bags. If you've ever been in there, it looked like something from a Dickensian book. Hundreds of inmates sat round on wooden benches stitching mail bags. Yeah. And that was what you got when you joined the modern prison service. That's what the advert said. Join the modern prison service. And that's what you got when you arrived. Obviously they'd never seen Strangeways, had they? Yeah, so right, at the end of B1 landing, right at the bottom of B1 landing, there was the end cell on the left. Very haunted cell, that. Tell you a little story about that. Right, okay. I was on duty one night and I was checking. Obviously, you're accountable for all the prisoners in the cells. So I went round all the cells when I took it over at 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Went round all the cells, made sure everybody was in, tallied up the numbers. That's right. So it got to be round about midnight and I was patrolling down B1 landing. And I saw a light on in the end cell on the left. Now, there shouldn't have been a light on there because there's nobody in there as far as I knew. So I went up there a bit worried about this. I mean, why? Unless somebody had left the light on. So I thought maybe that's it. So I'll go and have a look. So I flipped the catch on the Judas switch back and looked in. And about 3 foot behind the door, there was a man standing there with a dark black moustache and a hat and a beard. Well, it looked like a rough kind of beard, not a full beard like this Monty, but he had his main feature was a big black moustache. I looked at this guy, I thought, there's bloody no prisoners in there. And I looked again, the place was empty. I'm telling you, it bloody haunted, that place. Anyway, if you went into that cell, there was a passage through from the back of that cell. They had a big cupboard there. And you go through there and you got into the hanging shed. And the hanging shed had a platform. So you went straight out onto the platform and the hanging shed, that the actual noose was there. So they put the noose on. It didn't take. Albert Perrypoint was the one who did a lot of hanging there, but the guy that I'd seen in the cell was apparently John Ellis. Yeah, he was the hangman at Strangeways, and he killed himself, cut his own throat. And since then, numerous people have seen him. I mean, not just me seeing him. Numerous people have seen him. Often see him walk down B1 landing to the stairs at the end of B1 landing, and it looks as though he's carrying a bag in a dark suit, yeah, with a little bag and a hat, and he gets to the stairs and then disappears. I saw that a number of times. One night I went to see the principal officer who was in charge of the prison that night. I said, I've just seen a man come up the stairs here, can't see him now, he's disappeared. He said, describe this man. I said he was in civilian clothing, he had a hat on, black suit and a bag. I said he got to the stairs and I just couldn't see him after that. He said, that's Ellis. He said he used to be the hangman here. He still walks the landings. Not only does he walk the landings, but he sometimes occupies the cell at the end, which is the condemned cell. Very strange, that sort of spooky ghost of Strangeways prison. That's just one of them. I'll discuss others when I get round to it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about what happened to the contents of the shed, the hangman's shed, the execution unit, when it was disbanded. Certain items disappeared. I believe the cross off the wall disappeared, because that was the last thing that a hanging man would see. As he looked across, he'd see the cross, and it was always the chaplain was there to say the last rites and wish him well for his journey into the next dimension. But there were various articles in there that went missing, and they were located at the house of a certain prison officer who, well, let's just call him Fatty, shall we? Barry Smith knows who I mean, but I'll just call him Fatty. I mean, not just because he was a big, hefty lump of a fat bastard, but because his head must have been made out of fat. Yeah, anyway, they found all this because they went missing, you see. They found them at his house because somebody must have reported seeing him going into that shed, the execution unit, and they subsequently charged this individual. But this particular individual was a Freemason. Yeah. So he got charged and he was taken to court and he pleaded not guilty. And this is how the Freemasons work it, by the way. So when he got into court, they said he was charged that on such and such a date he did enter the execution shed and steal all these items, which he subsequently located at his house. And they produced the items. There was no doubt about it that they'd got the items and that they'd been stolen from the jail. There's no doubt about that. But they'd charged him that he did it on a certain date. And he was able, his defence was able to prove that on that specific date, he wasn't in the country. He was overseas. I believe he was in Spain on holiday. So instantly, case dismissed. Yeah, absolutely could prove it, no doubt about it. Case dismissed. Wouldn't be charged again. No double jeopardy there. Not guilty, out. But that's how they do it. Because he was a Freemason, needed a favour. No doubt the guy who was doing the thing was a Freemason. But this is all supposition, you know. But I know that he got a not guilty. But they retrieved the items that had been stolen. So you work it out for yourself. I mean, that was the kind of thing that went on. If you were in, you were in. If you were out, then believe me, you were out and you weren't getting in. I didn't want to get in. I bloody won't join any secret society. If I cannot do it on my own bat, then I can't do it. So it's that time of day, folks. Hope you've enjoyed that little rant. Don't forget to leave some comments down below. And Barry Smith, 10 points, you can tell me who it was. Yeah? Right. I'm going to do your poem now before I have a sing-song. And a number of people have made requests, but I can only do one at a time. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. And I am going to do a live broadcast, so it will be probably the last Tuesday in August. I usually do the first, but I'll do the last Tuesday in August, whatever that date is. So have a look it up, and I will be here. So I'm going to do a song today that was been requested by Larry the Goatman, who sent me this hat, by the way. I'll soon be able to sell some on here if you really, really want them. Hey, and don't forget it's my birthday on the 6th of August, so if you want to donate to the Buy Me a Coffee, I'll definitely convert that into a bottle of Jack, and then I'll drink it here live on the broadcast. How about that? I can't do a full bottle in an hour, but I reckon I can do half. By the time I've got there, it won't be making a lot of sense, will it? I hope you're enjoying these tales from the jails. This is a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, which is pretty much in line with my way of thinking. Is this life but a dream? This is Edgar Allan Poe's A Dream Within a Dream. So Hazel, if you're listening, is it a dream? Come on now. You're feeling a lot better. Yeah? Karen's feeling a lot better. And what about Hazel? You're out there? Sing along with John. Are you ready? This is Edgar Allan Poe, A Dream Within a Dream. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, this much let me avow. You are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away in a night, or in a day, in a vision, or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep, while I weep. O God, can I not grasp them tighter with a clasp? O God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Edgar Allan Poe, A Dream Within a Dream. I used to read Edgar Allan Poe when I was about 9 and 10. Very difficult author to read. And this is a song now that's been suggested and requested with slight amendments. At the Song Dinger, folks. You've been warned. Yeah. This has been requested by Larry the Goatherd from Rotherham. And what do you think? This is Larry's model goat, by the way. I'm going to sing a song especially for Larry, and it's all about you. Well, your big brother. I quite agree. It's going to be terrible. Are you ready? This is Larry the Goatherd's Goat. And not sure if I can do it properly, but I'm going to give it a go by special request. This was originally sung by Val Doonican. You know, the guy who used to wear all them woolly jumpers. Now, Larry the Goatherd, a Rotherham man of note, fell into a fortune and bought himself a goat. Says he, sure of goat's milk, I mean to have my fill. But when he brought the nanny home, he found it was a bill. Now all the young ladies who live in Rotherham too are all wearing bustles like their mothers used to do. They each wear a bolster between the petticoat and leave the rest to Providence and Larry the Goatherd's goat. Miss Burke to her daughter said, "Listen, Mary Jane, now who was the man you were cuddling in the lane? He'd long wiry whiskers all hanging from his chin." "'Twas only Larry the Goatherd's goat," she answered with a grin. Then she went away from the village in disgrace. She came back with powder and paint upon her face. She'd rings on her fingers, she wore a sable coat, and bet your life she didn't get that from Larry the Goatherd's goat. Now Nora McCarthy the knot was going to tie. She washed all her trousseau and hung it out to dry. Along came the goat and he saw the bits of white. He chewed up all the folderols on a wedding night. "Oh, turn out the light quick," she shouted at her Pat, "for though I am your bride, sure I'm not worth looking at. I've got two of everything I told you when I wrote, but now I want a note through Larry the Goatherd's goat." Mickey Riley went to the races t'other day. He won $20 and he shouted, "Hip hooray!" He held up the note shouting, "Look what I've got." The goat came up and grabbed it and swallowed all the lot. "He's eaten up me banknote," said Mickey with the hump. They went for the doctor and got a stomach pump. They pumped and they pumped for the $20 note, but all they got was 9p out of Larry the Goatherd's goat. Now old Larry's goat had a wondrous appetite, and one day for breakfast he ate some dynamite. A big box of matches he swallowed all serene, and out he went and swallowed up a quart of paraffin. He sat by the fireside, he didn't give a hang, swallowed a spark and exploded with a bang. So if you go to heaven, you can bet the dollar note the angel with the whiskers on is Larry the Goatherd's goat. There you go. Well, I did my best, Larry, didn't I? Come on. Hey, even the goat liked that, didn't you? Come on. I tried. You miserable little goat. Tales from the Jails, folks. John G. Sutton. Comments, insults.